Hi guys, good day. Thank you for joining the English learning. Today we want to talk about the article which titled Fire. The five elementary. One of the five elementary that we mentioned last time. So okay, let us go through the vocabulary firstly. Vocabulary manifestation manifestation 表现形式 manifestation proportion 比重 proportion tremendous tremendous 巨大的 tremendous invariably 总老是 invariably 总老是 edible 食用 edible palatable 可口的 palatable 可口的 digestive 消化 digestive belly 腹部 well nourished营养良好的 well nourished reproductive 再生的生殖的 reproductive propagate 传播繁殖 propagate renunciation 声明放弃 renunciation transcendence 超越 Okay, let us go through the article. In any society, just uttering the word fire loudly creates a lot of excitement. Fire is generally perceived as danger, which it is if you do not handle it properly. Let us look at the elemental dimension of fire or anger. It is its manifestation, ways to conduct it, and above all, ways to master it. So, among the five elements, fire accounts for the smallest proportion in the composition of a human's body. Its influence is tremendous. In many ways, fire represents life. One major indicator for whether you are alive or dead is if the fire is still on in you. If your body has gone cold, life upon this planet is essentially solar powered. The sun is a huge ball of fire that fuels life on this planet. Any machine, while it works, invariably generates hot heat because fundamentally fire is the fuel. You may call it electricity, petrol, wood, coal, or whatever else, but essentially it is fire that lets any machine run, including your body. In this culture, the element of fire is personified as the Angi devil, a two-faced god who rides on a fiery ram. The two faces are symbolic representations of fire as a life giver and a life taker. Without the fire burning within you, there is no life. But if you do not take care, fire can quickly go out of control and consume everything. When it burns our body, it is called ceremation. Another aspect is we are using fire to cook so that we can consume food that otherwise may not be edible or palatable for us. Okay, let's go through the four dimensions of the fire. Number one, Jaharagini. There are many dimensions of fire within and without. Let us look at the three forms of fire that burn within us. One is known as Jaharangi. Jahara means stomach or digestive process. Without a little bit of fire in your belly, you cannot digest the food that you eat. Food is functioning as a fuel that you need to break down in order to release the energy that you need. If the digestive fire is well nourished and well supplied with fuel, it is also becomes the reproductive fire. Both digestion and reproduction depends on Jaharagini. Chitani. The second kind of inner fire is called Chitani. It is the dimension of the mind and beyond. Chitta is a dimension of intelligence within you that transcends the limitations of the physical form. Your physical form is an outcome of your genetic and your karmic memory, but contrast chitta is a dimension of intelligence that is untainted by memory. The fire of the intelligence can manifest on many different levels. The first level of manifestation being the intellect. If we look at the different fire within you, only if your digestive fire is going well, the reproductive fire will come into the act. If you are not well fed, the reproductive instincts will disappear. Similarly, if your chitani is not reasonably fed, your intellect will become weak and ineffective. However, if your chitani is fired up, it will manifest itself in the form of intellect, even if you are not in state to consciously access other dimensions of intelligence. If your chitani is burning bright, you will lose interest in food, sexuality, and other matters of the body. It is in the context that what is unfortunately being pro, pro, propagated as re, renunciation should actually be transcendence. It is important that the fire of intelligence burns within you, when only the physical fires are burning within you, but not the fire of intelligence. Life can get miserable and ugly when there is too much jahani and not enough chitani. People will do the stupidest thing. Bhutani. The next dimension of fire is called Bhutani, the elemental fire. If your elemental fire is on, the circles of the body and the mind will not make much sense to you. Your interest and focus will shift from the antics of the body and the mind to a more fundamental aspect of creation, the source of life. If you take charge of Jahani, you will have a health and a robust body. If you take charge of your Chitani, you will have a mind that you can use in many ways. If you take charge of your Bhatani, you will have fundamental mastery over the process of life. The boundaries of the body are very clear and limited. The boundaries of the mind are larger. For example, if you know something about another part of the world, it is within the boundaries of your mind. As your knowledge expands, your mental boundaries can expand. But if you become conscious of the dimension of botany or the elemental fire, you will be boundless being, because the play of elements is happening across the entire creation. Number 4, Savani. Beyond this, there is something called Savani because according to modern social science, the physical dimension of existence is less than 5%. That means if you know the entire physical dimension of the universe, you will know only 5% of existence. Savani touches the dimension where there are no elements, where there is no creation as you know it, or in other words, where there is no physical nature. Generally, a yogi who wants to access the nature of life will not interest himself in Jahani, Chitani, and Bhutani. He will focus only on Savani because this is the ultimate fire, but it is a cool fire. Jahani is very obvious fire. Chitani is less obvious but very much there. Bhutani is not so visible but also at all but also much there. Savani can hardly be felt, but without it nothing would happen. It is the fundamental and ultimate fire that encompasses all other fires. Yes, so this is 4 dimensions of about the fire element. Yeah, that looks very interesting. So let us repeat again. Number 1, Jahani. There are many dimensions of fire within and without. Let us look at the 3 forms of fire that burn within us. One is known as Jahani. Jahala means stomach or digestive process. Without a little bit of fire in your belly, you cannot digest the food that you eat. Food is functioning as fuel that you need to break down in order to release the energy. If the digestive fire is well nourished and well supplied with fuel, it is also become a reproductive fire. Both digestion and reproduction depends on Jahani. Number 2, Chitani. The second kind of inner fire is called Chitani. It is the dimension of the mind that and beyond. Chitta is the dimension of intelligence within you that transcends the limitation of the physical form. Your physical form is an outcome of your genetic and your karmic memory. By contrast, Chitta is a dimension of intelligence that is untainted by memory. The fire of intelligence can manifest on many different levels. The first level of manifestation being the intellect. If you if we look at the different fires within you, only if your digestive fire is going well, the reproductive fire will come into the act. If you are not well fed, the reproductive instincts will disappear. Similarly, if your chitani is not reasonably fired, your intellect will become weak and ineffective. However, if your chitani is fired up, it will manifest itself in the form of intellect. Even if you are not in a state to consciously access other dimensions of intelligence, if your chitani is burning bright, you will lose interest in food, sexuality, and other matters of the body. It is in the context that what is unfortunately being propagated as renunciation, so should actually be transcendence. It is important that the fire of intelligence burns within you, where only the physical fires are burning within you are not the fire, but not the fire of intelligence. Life can get miserable and ugly. Where this too much jahani and not enough chitani, people will do the stupidest thing. Number 3, botany. The next dimension of fire is called botany, the elemental fire. If your elemental fire is on, the circuits of the body and the mind will not make much sense to you. Your interest and focus will shift from the antics of the body and the mind to more fundamental aspect of creation, the source of life. If you take charge of Jatani, you will have health and a robust body. If you take charge of your Chitani, you will have a mind that you can use in many ways. If you take charge of your Botani, you will have fundamental mastery over the process of life. The boundaries of the body are very clear and limited. The boundaries of the mind are larger. For example, if you know something about another part of the world, it is within the boundaries of your mind. As your knowledge expands, your mental boundaries can expand. But if you become conscious of the dimension of botany or the elemental fire, you will be boundless being because the play of elements is happening across the entire creation. Number 4, Savani. Beyond this is something called Savani because according to modern science, the physical dimension of existence is less than 5%. That means if you know the entire physical dimension of the universe, you know only 5% of existence. Savani touches the dimension where there are no elements, where there is no creation as you know it, or in other words, where there is no physical nature. Generally, a yogi who wants to access the nature of life will not interest himself in Jatani, Chaitani, and Bhutani. He will focus only on Savani because this is the ultimate fire, but it is cool fire. Jatani is very obvious fire, Chitani is less obvious but very much there. Botany is not so visible at all, but very much there. Savani can hardly be felt, but without it, nothing would happen. It is fundamental and ultimate fire that encompasses all other fires. Okay, that's all. Let's go through the last. Okay, after reading this article, actually the wind is on the way in my place, and I plan to raise a fire in my house to keep house warm. Actually, I missed the fire warmness so much, which I always had in my mother's hometown. But in city, you are not allowed to raise a fire in your house because it will smoke somewhere, and your neighbor will call the police. What happened in your house? Okay, anyway, I will try to raise a fire, keep our house warm, and I can feel the warmth to make my body comfortable. Also, I can focus on studying. I think it's make a good atmosphere in my house. Okay, guys, have a good day. Bye bye. See you next time.